Femke Bol is back on the track again, and this time it went down in Monaco where she won the women's 400 hurdles. That is the end of a very interesting story, because to be honest, the race itself is not that important. We expected her to win, but how she won is why it matters. So allow me to break it down for you. She won the race in 51.95 seconds, and in case you haven't been paying attention, that is now a new world lead. I mean, yeah, it's a meeting record, but that's not that big a deal. But you gotta know who was in the field. Dalilah Muhammad of America and Anna Cockrell were both there. Dalilah Muhammad was a world champion, Olympic medalist. She's done, everything that most people want to do in the sport. And then Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone came along. And Anna Cockrell is the Olympic silver medalist from 2024. Once again, most people want to get that far. But Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone is the woman ahead of her. But the truth is, Femke Bol is the best 400 hurdler in the world, not named Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. I know it, and just about everybody who actually watches the sport knows it. She just has to go out there and prove it. She is actually chasing after Sydney, so when she runs the world lead, in a year where Sydney has multiple 400 hurdle races on this, already on the results, already on the boards, that actually matters. But what we don't know is what Sydney's going to do come Worlds. She might run the 400 hurdles, and if she does, nobody's taking her to lose. Even though if it was ever going to happen, I actually think Femke Bol is the woman who's going to do it. But she might run the 400, and if she does, we've actually seen this movie before, because Femke Bol in 2023 won the women's 400 hurdles at the World Championship. That makes her a reigning world champion in that event. Yes, Sydney wasn't there, but it still counts. It's a gold medal. So now that we look forward, hey, from where we are on the calendar to where the rest of the season is going to go, just being real, it's Femke Bol's world championship to lose. I mean, she's now the world leader, and if Sydney wants to beat her, she will technically have to play catch up on the boards. I mean, fully expect that she would if she decided to run another 400 hurdle race, but she would actually have to go out and do it. Sydney's going to run a 400 coming up this weekend. So, again, it's still very, uncertain. And it's hard to have the Femke Bol conversation without linking her to Sydney. But it just is what it is. We are living in a very unique time when it comes to the women's 400 hurdles, where it doesn't matter who you think you are or what you think you're doing. There's one woman who everybody has to go through, and nobody has figured out how to do it since she really got to the top of the world. Sydney is that woman. Femke Bol is the only person who's ever given us real evidence she could beat Sydney. Again, doesn't mean it's gonna happen. Trey, that's not what I'm saying. Comment section, you let me know how you feel about it. But she's the only one who could, realistically, show up and run fast enough where maybe you catch Sydney slipping a little bit. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, and if you really want to know what's going on with the fastest athletes in the world, then you are in the right place. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. Now, when I reflect back on Femke Bol from the last few years to where we are, you got to understand that she is one of the best competitors that we have in the sport. She's seen adversity, things have not gone perfectly. But when you understand that she represents the Netherlands, when it comes to their relays, if you remove her from the pool, how many world medals do they actually have? Look at World Indoors, look at the World Championships, and the Olympics. The Netherlands has consistently been there, whether we're talking the women's 4x4 or the mixed 4x4. And that is a nation that is nowhere near as big as America, or for that matter, many of their top competitors. If you take her off of those relays, no shade, just being honest, I know they have other talented athletes, but she is the biggest gun that they're actually bringing to the party. Moving from the relays, we know she's fast in the 4. What she's done indoors in the 4 is something that I believe almost no one has ever done. Last time I checked, she was the world record holder indoors in that event. And, she has World Indoor Championship medals to back it up. So when it comes to the 400 hurdles, the truth is, the best women who compete in that event, and for that matter the best men, are the fastest 400 runners who choose to run over hurdles. That is where Femke Bol is. She's one of the fastest 400 runners that we actually have. She could take the hurdles away, and she could dedicate an entire season to just running the flat 4, and she would easily make it to the World Championship final. The only question is she going to mix it up with the women who got medals, specifically the top 2 medals, gold and silver, in the Paris Games. But even if she went to the 4, Sydney would still be there, which brings us right on back to the same conversation. From this point on in the year, we know Femke Bol is going to be at the World Championships. Ain't nobody stopping her. Same thing with Sydney. We just don't know what event she's going to run. Like, we're really just kind of waiting. Like, every race from now, like from this point going forward, is just a formality. Femke Bol is back. She is fast. She'd run fast and run fast again. She'd run open 4s and 400 hurdle races. And at this point, it's abundantly clear that the women who are, not named Sydney can't run with her. The only way she lost in the last Olympic Games was she had to underachieve. She didn't run her PR or close to it. That's how Aina Cockrell got the silver medal. Shout out to her for what she accomplished, but it's not the same thing as beating somebody when they're actually at their best. I firmly believe that Sydney didn't break the world record in that event, like during the Olympic final. Well, correction, she did break the world record. I mean, run faster than 50 seconds, which is what everybody's waiting on. Like, for her to do the unthinkable. Is because Femke Bol did not break 51. I think that's what she had to do, break 51 again, which she's done in the past. If she did, I think Sydney would have just went faster, because she would have had no choice in the matter. Like, she wasn't trying to lose, so if she needed to figure out to get another 3 attempts, she probably would have figured out how to do it. This is the world we're living in. The world where Femke Bol, the reigning world champion, and, I'm not trying to put an asterisk on it, we just have to be very, very clear. Sydney was not in that race, because every time they've both lined up in a championship race, it's always ended the exact same way, with Sydney in front, and Femke getting the medal. It just wasn't gold. Will that change this year? I don't know. I don't even know if we're going to get that matchup, because we don't know how this is going to break. But for now, Femke Bol is the woman to beat, and at the very least, every woman in the world who isn't named Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, it's just going to have to deal with that fact from this point on. In the sport of track and field, confidence is everything, because when you win, that is just the moment when everybody else finds out what you already knew to be true, that fast is a lifestyle. Get your fast is a lifestyle track and field gear at scarecruiting.com/shop, or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.